Now would be a very good time to leave.
Hello. So this is our Skyrim load order video for, I guess this is going to be for May. This is the load order that we're using for our playthrough. When you see me playing Porthos, this is the load order we've been using, and we are using. You'll notice it still has Divine Texture Pack and Divine Forest. Still using the Northern Grass. I'm moving past all those things, so I'm moving faster than what I'm talking about. Sorry about that. Nonetheless, I just want to give somebody a chance to see the mods that are being used in case they have a desire to see this and see the armors that I'm using. All the different things that I'm using, and I'm going to go play Porthos for a few minutes hopefully after this. But wanted you to see the load order because I don't think I've had a chance to put up a load order video for a while. Now, I haven't had any issues with this load order. It's been very good for me. Now, I am changing the way I do some of my mods, so I may move all these texture mods up to the top. It's something I've really considered. Now, that won't include like the water, but the texture mods, if they're up at the top, then everything that wants to load in these textures, it should load in the correct textures. I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but I'm thinking that putting the textures up all at the top, I used to do that, and then I didn't do that, and now I'm thinking about putting them back up at the top again. Just because I think that would work well. But I haven't done that here, and you'll notice it works fine. Textures are really, you're just repainting items in the game. So on the one hand, you know, you might be able to make an argument that there's some difference in having it at the top or the bottom. I'm not seeing a huge difference, frankly. But I think maybe having it at the top might be helpful. Okay, so I may move those texture mods up here to the top. Other than that, I'm going to stick with these same mods that you're seeing here. Now, if I move those to the top, I would put them under the HD Rework Dragon Collection because everything I had down low is small. They're small texture mods. Okay, so just to let you know, the big overhauls I would still keep up here, and I would still keep this in this order. And I'm not going to claim to understand why everything is the way it is, but you want your SMIM and then your enhanced texture detail and your high poly project here. Now, if I went researching back through that, I think I would understand it again, but I've forgotten. I did really try to research this and see how this should be, and this is the correct order for these. Whether you have them high or low in your load order, I guess that depends on what load order you follow, and I've just decided that I think I'm going to put all my textures up here, and then I'll do my trees and my grass underneath, which technically are textures, but trees and grass is a little different, so I am going to put those beneath the others. I'm going to keep those here. So anyway, that is, you can see all the mods I'm using. There is one mod I'm probably going to add is going to fix a funky thing I didn't notice when you use Obsidian Weathers and Seasons. Let me see if I can find that. There is a mod. This will be like just a quick little thing that you might be interested in knowing. I like using Obsidian, and I didn't notice it till I was taking some pictures, but if you take some high-def pictures and look at them, you will see a little weird light in the sky. Let me see if I can find this here. Give me a moment. That's it. I think this is it. Right. You will see a bit of now I don't know if it's that drastic, but on that before side, on the left side, you will see a bit of an odd coloration line. And then I'm hoping this will fix it. So I'm probably going to add this down to my patches area. That's probably the only thing I was going to change, because I happened to notice it with some pictures I took, and I thought this might be the fix I want. So, you know, I'm going to put it down there, and we're going to hope, okay? All right, hopefully I don't break the whole game, but I will show you this real fast. We'll put this in its proper place. Proper place for me, following my load order. You do whatever. I'm not pushing anything. There's a number of different ways to, what do they say? There's more than one way to skin a cat. There's all kinds of different ways to do things. I do my patches down here, and I keep them ordered by size. So it's bigger than this one, but it's smaller than that one. So there you go. And it's a patch, and it says it's a patch, and it's created by True Draconis, so it's probably pretty good. And if it clears up that little funny looking line in the sky, that'll be great, because I did notice that on some of my pictures, and I was surprised by it. Nonetheless, let's see, other than that, that's the end of our load order video. Like I said, this should be the load order. I'm going to go real fast. This should be the load order for May. You can always either go back to the beginning of the video, or you can slow this down. It's purely up to you. And this should be our load order video for May, okay? I'll try to do a load order each month, especially if we, like up there, I just made a tiny little tweak. If I make a little tweak, or if we revamp, because at some point, like I'm getting ready to go play some, at some point we're going to revamp this load order once I've played through, a good chunk of the game, and we can see and prove that everything is working, which everything is working so far. I'm not having any issues with this. So to my mind, this is a good load order as is. I am going to move a few things around. Like I said, well, you know what? While I've got you here, instead of just talking about it, I will just show you. This is what I was going to do. I was going to come down here, and I'm going to move the doors. I love my doors. I love this little door mod. It's just great. I love it. I can't help it. It's a great mod. So let me come down here. We're going to grab, what's next? Northfire's Nordic Ruins. And I think, now that is a good mod. Now we've been in some dungeons, if you've seen some of my videos, and the dungeons do look a little, a little scarier, a little, just like I think Skyland has its own theme in the Draugr dungeons, which is good. I think that has a good theme going on in the caves and stuff. They just look a little darker and maybe dirtier. How do they say it? Realistic, giving it a darker, dirtier, and scarier feel, right? And they give you new spiderweb textures, which is cool. So, and the Tamriel Reloaded Mountains, this is nice so far. I've liked it. You see different mountains in different areas. So, different rock textures really is what we're talking about. I guess I should try to be as accurate as possible, so I apologize if I was not accurate in my statement. Now, technically, these are flowers, and I could put these flowers down below the grass and stuff, but I don't see any point because these do not affect the flowers, so I'm not going to bother. I'm going to put the flowers back up here under these, and still going to keep the trees and grass down here. Now, there might be an exception, and I will show you that exception in just a moment. Since I'm using, let's see if my memory's still good. Wait, we got to move the cow. I'm keeping my cow texture. I like my cow. I don't care what anybody else says. I like the cow. I think there's a new mod I need to try, though, for cows. It looked interesting. And it didn't look like that, but it did look interesting. So there is a new... Okay, here it is. Renthal's Wood Textures. Now, this, if I want to see this, I have to put this below the, am I using the HD trees? Let me check. No, I'm using Divine Texture Pack. Oh, let me see. I don't even think that affects the chopped wood. Let's take a look. Does this affect chopped wood? HD trees does. No. Okay, so this doesn't affect the chopped wood, so I'm fine. If it did, if this was like the HD trees mod, it actually affects how your chopped wood and your chopping block looks. If that was the case, then I would have to move this below my trees. But in this case, I don't need to, since it doesn't. And I'm trusting Tarshana's description. If I find different, then we'll move it. Let's see. So what else we got? Now, Erebor Markarth retexture. I'm going to move that up with those others. It still is really just a retexture. All it does is make Markarth, if you saw my show on this, all it does is make Markarth green. I meant to check and see if it's going to affect all the Dwemer places, and I haven't. So that's something that'll be interesting. We'll find out as we're playing if that's going to affect other Dwemer places. Now this is Ultimate HD Fire and Effects. Technically, I guess I wouldn't have to move that, but I've always treated it as if it's a texture. So I'm going to move it up with these others. It is kind of an overhaul in the same vein as textures. You know, it's producing a different appearance in the game. So it's still basically, I think both of these are still basically textures. Anyway, I'm showing you this because I am going to update my load order document to reflect this, and you'll see this in the future. So probably means I'll have to redo this load order video. I tell you what I'll do. I'll redo the load order video as soon as we're done here. Okay. All right. So let's see. Witcher Decor. Witcher Decor, not decor, not decor, but decor. Yes, I always make fun of stuff. It doesn't matter because this is kind of silly. Some of the rules of our pronunciation of things, and you know. All right, so okay, there's my snow. Let's see. Oh, I went too far because I missed my ice. Okay, so here is the clutter and the trees. The junipers and these trees, these do not count. Tarshana's mod does not affect these. So this will be okay. So I'm putting all my textures basically up top, so they go ahead and get loaded early in the game. I'm hoping, or early in the load process, I'm hoping that will help everything load better. That's my thought and idea, that everything will load better, what's the word, more efficiently. I don't know that this really will make a hill of beans difference. It depends on how they really created all of this. You know we read it in a certain way and the lowest mod wins, but that doesn't really talk to efficiency. Like if I have all the textures up top, then will every mod below that, as it loads in, automatically use all those textures, or is everything still going to be reloaded every time the game does a load? You know what I mean? Are we winning any efficiency here or not? And I just don't know that we are. But I just happened to think about it, and I thought, well, I'm just going to move all my textures back up to the top like I used to do a long time ago, and just roll with it. You know, unless I find something where I really need to have a texture low for some reason, and I will show you a couple that I'm not going to move. But that's because I've always treated them a little differently. I'm even going to move my locks. Clever Sharp locks. So this video has turned into a longer video than I intended. So I'm going to, at one time, I'm going to apologize for that. But at the same time, I think it's good for you to know. You know, I mean, whether I have these low or high, it has still been working for me in the past regardless. So I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. However, I am hoping to win a little efficiency or something like that in my game loads. I don't know that it will. I'm just like throwing, you know how you just kind of like take an idea and you just kind of throw it against the wall and see what you get. That kind of thing. I'm just like, well, let's just try it out. We'll see what happens. Funny thing is, if it totally breaks my game, then I'll have something else to do a video on and tell you about later. But it should be fine. I mean, these are just textures now. The prismatic insects. Now, this is slightly different in that I think it does more than just add insects. I think it also replaces some. So, this one, I might treat it a little differently. I think I might treat it like the fairies. And like the fairies are additional NPCs. So maybe I'll treat this as an NPC replacer, kind of like the Atronax and the children, because we are adding some insects too. I know that, but we are also replacing some. So I don't think I should move that all the way to the top. I probably could, and it probably wouldn't make a difference. But I think I'm going to change the way I look at it, because it is replacing some of the butterflies, and then it is adding a bunch of new ones. And I think by adding them, I think it's still replacing some of them. So anyway, we're gonna put it there and let it ride. I will not move my map textures. I keep those in my water. I keep these all down here. I think they all need to be here for different reasons. Some textures will affect your map adversely, so I like my maps to be lower. And then I like for my water textures, my water mods to be low. And the cube map says it should be lower than all your other textures. So I put it below even my water. So there you go. All right. So now we've made our changes. I'm going to come back and let's just walk through this, and I'll let you see how everything looks now, because this is what we're going to be playing, okay? And this is what we have been playing. I've just rearranged some things. So, okay, so this is the patch, okay, and we're just going to flip, whatever. I'm just going to move down through these. And that's got all my textures up here at the top, which I think is fine. I think that works well. We'll see. And then we've got our trees and our grass, and then we got our weather and our night sky, and we're just going to keep moving. I can't keep up with my clipping through these, moving down. So, but there you go. See, we're just going to keep going on and on. And there are some new, by the way, there's some new NPC mods and stuff that we're going to be doing shows on, but they're not going to be from this load order. They will be their own shows. This load order is really, it's set at this time. The only reason I added this in was just so some of my pictures will look a little better. But other than that, we did remove the one mod that changed Winterhold, because some of the buildings were off the, they were, excuse me, they were off the ground, and I did not like them being off the ground, okay? So that is one change that we made. Has there been any other change? I don't think so. I think everything else is as it was, okay? So there probably won't be any significant changes for a while, unless we either A, run into a problem, or we decide for some reason to make some big changes. But I don't want to do that until we've played this further and got further into the game. Anytime you see me playing Porthos, he's going to be our playthrough guy, at least for the time being, okay? So he's going to be our playthrough that shows that all this is working, okay? All right. So I want to thank you for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. This has been an OwwThatSmarts production.